Families of the survivors of the Life Esidimeni tragedy say those found liable for the deaths of patients must be prosecuted. It comes after the inquest into the tragedy found that the deaths of at least 9 of the mental health patients was caused by the negligence of the then Gauteng Health MEC, Qedani Mahlangu, and the former Gauteng director of the mental health directorate, Makgabo Manamela. The families say the finding confirms what they've always known. Newzroom Africa's Mnisi sat down with some of them.
It took Nomvula Nonjabe 6 years to find the perfect facility to care for his sister, Kayagazi. But after Kayagazi was settled, the contract between Life Esidimeni and the Gauteng Department of Health was terminated, leading to what has been described as a chaotic move to place mental health patients in the care of unlicensed NGOs. 8 years after the tragedy, an inquest has labelled the deaths of some of the patients an act of negligence on the part of the then Health MEC in Gauteng, Qedani Mahlangu, and the Gauteng Director of the Mental Health Directorate, Makgabo Manamela, a finding that validated the concerns of the families of the survivors of the tragedy, but triggering nonetheless.
You can't help it but look back to where you come from, and I've had to ask myself, that did this really happen? Did it really have to happen? And I mean, especially because there was so many things, so many people that actually did try to alert them to stop it, or to at least pause and make thorough research before they can actually take this step. So I think the judgment for me is a step in the right direction. I'm not entirely happy, especially because, I mean, Judge Defo selected a number of people that she said Mahlangu was actually negligent to. But I mean, it's not just 8 that died. It was more than that.
Kayagazi was one of the patients that survived. She was just 25 years old when she was removed and was later returned and placed in another life facility where she was well taken care of. But she passed away 2 years later in unrelated circumstances. Another survivor who is still alive is Andrew Peterson's uncle, Victor Trutter. Peterson says his uncle was lucky to survive. Trutter had a boil that was turning septic and suffered from temporary dehydration. He said doctors told him that if he had been left unattended for just 2 more days, he would have also lost his life. But he is healthy and well taken care of now.
My uncle is doing extremely well. I mean, he's getting his tablets on time, which he wasn't getting when he was in this illegal NGO at Mosika Home in Krugersdorp. He's getting food on time. He's getting attention. Right now, he's getting attention with his teeth. They're booking an appointment for him to have his teeth changed.
The families of both these survivors say justice must be meted out.
Well, justice for us would be if the 2 individuals that have been identified as being the key people that have to take the accountability, if those 2 individuals go through a proper criminal trial, and and at the end of that trial, we know for a fact, just like we have been right all along, that they will be found guilty.
Those 2 especially showed no remorse, and they were still blaming each other. And I mean, I was even watching some of the YouTube news from long ago, well, 7 years ago, when Mahlangu was interviewed even after the deaths had started occurring, and just how arrogant she was that they can't say how many people died and why they died, and they can't blame the NGOs because people die every day. And so for me, she really needs to serve her term for what she did. And hopefully that will also then enforce the rest of the people who are still working in the health to understand that when they're looking after people, they really need to make sure that they deliver as best as possible.
The National Prosecuting Authority has released a statement saying if there is relevant and admissible evidence to charge the persons found by the court to be liable for the deaths, it will not hesitate to criminally charge them. For Newzroom Afrika on Channel 405, I'm Mnisi in Pretoria.